Hello, everybody. I am in here doing a quick live, and hello to you. I hope all is well. Interesting. It says 17 seconds already. I swear I haven't been on here for 17 seconds already, but I don't know. Maybe I have been. Um, so, yeah, happy Monday. I am low energy. I worked a lot this weekend. I think we must be understaffed because, yeah, I worked double Saturday, double Sunday, and then I saw this schedule for this week, and it's whoops, Friday, Saturday. No, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday. And it's kind of a rough job too because you run ragged in the job. So when you do it back to back to back to back, it's hard. It's for me, especially being around an empath, being around 600 and more people, sometimes twice a day. That's a lot for me. It really, I feel a bit under the weather and a bit under energized, if that's even a phrase. But anyway, I'm here. I'm here. I just want to talk politics today because I am kind of low energy and there's so much going on. And I did a video this morning just as I had my coffee, which is sometimes the best time for me to make a video, even though it's dark and nothing to look at. It's just a good time for me to just get really simple messages. So, a lot happened, as you all know, yesterday with 45. Yeah, I saw TikTok. Now, I'm like everyone else. Was it staged? The thing that happened on the golf course, the pew pew, what I'm talking about on the golf course, was it staged? Is it really another attempt? Um, and, instantly I just think, oh, well, I think the first one was staged. And then, so of course, this one is too. But, who knows? Who knows? They'll always try to pin it on Democrats for whatever reason, even though we want gun control. We literally have fought forever to have gun control. So I don't know why we would be advocating this type of behavior when we literally have been begging for gun control forever. Um, I do think that it's planned because here's the reason. Because why did he have an email literally within 5 minutes begging for money? Hi, Amy. Hello. How are you doing today? Yeah, we got these crazy things going on with 45. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. My instant feeling is it was staged yesterday. That's really just like the first one. I think that we see a pattern. He gets in trouble in a bad news cycle, and then he has this big event. And it really is like I used to babysit a lot in junior high and high school, and I could say that kids, this is kind of the thing that kids do. They get in trouble and then they try to, oh, well, there was a big monster in the backyard that made me, you know what I mean? I feel like Trump has a lot of that behavior of, oh, the big baddie made me do it. Dealing with your dental insurance company that decided they wouldn't cover your bridge. Oh, we have a lot to do in this country to fix dental and make it affordable for people. Um, I heard there was a thread on a while back on social media where people were talking about how they just didn't go to the dentist because they were expected to pay thousands of dollars. And to me, dental care is not only does it affect your physical health, your mental health, it affects your heart, it affects also your social health because if you don't feel good about yourself, or if it affects your speech, then it's going to prevent you from feeling confident and going, you know what I mean? I really feel like they need to have dental, not just dental insurance, but it should be in health insurance. And if not, they should make it affordable no matter what your bill is. They break it down and you make payments because I feel like dental care is extremely important. I went last year. I went and I don't have insurance anymore after my divorce. So I went last year and they were like, oh, well, it'll be $2,000. And here I'd spent all my money on my kids' dental, right? So I'm broke. I don't have money for my dental, which, that's how it is. I would do it again. $2,000 if you pay our insurance. If you sign into our insurance, which is $800, plus you'll pay the $2,000 for the work we're going to do. yeah, it'll be cheaper that way. And I'm like, well, how's that cheaper? And who has $2,800 sitting around? It's ridiculous. They said they would cover it, and then they said they wouldn't. After it was done. Well, at least it was done. At least it was done. So maybe you can get them to allow payments. Um, but at least it's already done. So that's good. That I wonder if you're, yeah, just keep calling them. I don't know what to tell you. I would keep calling them and see if you can have payments, because it's not like they can take it back. So, you know what I mean? Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, dental insurance and I feel like eyes too, although I'd say dental would be more important, but you have to have eyes to see and drive and read and blah, blah, blah. It should all just be health insurance. It shouldn't be separate. I would say that the only things that should be separate would be like foot care, or plastic surgery, or obviously, um, or like alternative things like chiropractic and apothecary, all that stuff for things, you know. I think Jamie said they've told you before. My dentist broke my jaw when I was 15, and I won compensation for him because he was drunk when it happened. Ugh, just the pain that must have been awful for a long time. That's terrible. Ugh. You sent papers to your dentist, and they're going to try to deal with them. Good. Okay, good. That just seems so unfair to put that on you. Yeah, dental. After they told me, I was like, well, I may be back, I may not be back, and so now I just try to be really careful and brush my teeth a lot. But you know, that was sort of depressing. And also, when I went, they cleaned my teeth, but they didn't give me a fluoride treatment, and I ended up paying for all of that. And I was like, well, what was even the point of doing all that? They didn't even give me fluoride. And she kept trying to break off the things I have for braces. I still have like permanent, they're kind of halfway gone now, but I have permanent wires up here and down here. And I could feel her trying to pull them off my teeth. And now this tooth is crooked a little bit over here. I have like a little, like they're trying to go back to the way they were. So anyway, dental, it's, to me, I hate dentists. I had a lot of dental work growing up. I had a palate expander 3 times, and then my baby teeth wouldn't come out, so they pulled a whole bunch of my baby teeth out. So I had like junior high and high school, I had all this dental work, and just it's very intrusive. You know what I mean? Like I hate dental work, but you know, I just think that honestly, it should be available for everyone, and you make payments no matter what the bill. You make payments, but I think the dental care is like emergency. It should be absolutely, it should be done, and you shouldn't have to starve afterwards. So anyway, well, that's frustrating. I'm glad that they're going to help you out, Amy. I hope that the dentist will listen to them. Whenever I've taken my kids to the dentist, I'll be listening to the receptionist, and she's like, "Oh, well, we couldn't cover that bill because, or the insurance wouldn't take that because." I'm like, "Damn, that's such a rotten business," you know? Hi, Carl. Hello. I look like Marvin Girl Phoenix from X-Men, and I don't know who that Marvel girl. I don't even know who that is. I'll have to look. Oh, you know, what was I going to say? I'll tell you a story. Let me tell you the story. Not in related. I don't know why I thought of this because it's not in relation, but I was thinking about, I worked last night. I worked twice. I worked in the day and I worked in the night. And they had me in the buffet. So I went into the buffet before they opened the door for all the guests to come in, and there was a huge leak from the ceiling, and there's water coming down, and they had buckets. So half of the buffet was closed off, and I was like, "What the heck? This is not good. They're gonna lose customers. This whole ceiling could fall in." And then I started to get a psychic hit because the new show had started. And I was like, oh, it's the star of the show. And I was getting psychic downloads that she's very emotional, like she's going to retire soon. And also, I was getting like the name Peter and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, nobody here knows I'm psychic. And I still feel like I have to tell somebody there so they'll relay the message to the star of the show, who's like, you know, she's an aging actress. I'm not gonna say her name, but yeah, she's like very emotional and she has all this spirit and she's psychic too. Like, oh, I don't want to tell anyone. But I feel like if I don't tell anyone, the ceiling is just gonna keep happening. What I think is her dressing room is underneath that buffet on the right side. And she's causing all her emotions are causing the leak in the pipes up there because they said, oh, it started 2 weeks ago. And I was like, 2 weeks ago. Yep, that's when she showed up at the theater. So I'm trying to decide if I want to out myself as a psychic to one of the managers and have them tell. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, must be hard to get it. Yeah, yeah, it's hard. I think there's one lady I work with that knows that I read tarot, and I'm intuitive, right? But nobody else knows. And you know, when you tell people, they're like, "Oh yes, okay," but they're all like, "You're crazy, you're crazy." So I have to delegate if I want to tell anyone. But I feel like if I don't tell anyone, it's just going to keep happening. So anyway, here he is. I had a okay. Well, let's talk the politics because I came on here to talk about politics because it's just a wacky time right now. Um, and yeah, I would like to know what you guys think. Do you think that the pew pew on the golf course? Do you think that it was staged again? Because I felt like the first one was staged, or do you think that these are just random attempts at Trump's life? My sign is Taurus. I don't want to go into all of my aspects, but I'm Aries Taurus. My North Node is Aquarius, and I have a lot of Gemini, and I have some Leo, which explains why I would ever go on stage and do any, and all that stuff. So staged, yeah, I feel like it because 5 minutes later, right afterwards, so I go, this happened and this happened. We got this and this and this. That doesn't happen in a press conference. 5 minutes, 5 minutes after an attempted assassination, they have all the info. And but it's like blurry info because first it was like, oh, they were just shooting each other. And then, oh, the president wasn't shot. They weren't anywhere near the president. 5 minutes, they had all this story. And then I already had the suspect, had his gun. And the other thing is 5 minutes later, Trump is already sending out emails on it to get money. They almost tried to kill me again. Hey, they say Democrats, right? I really feel like, yeah, the Leo could be the main. You think it was staged? I do. I really do. Gemini. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart. Geminis unite. Geminis get a bad rap, but we're the writers and we're the thinkers. So we've got to have Gemini. Okay, like we said earlier, Amy, I believe the shootings are happening to normalize gun attacks. I just hope a fatal pew pew isn't being saved for someone more. Yeah. Well, I feel like Kamala is protected and Tim Walz. One thing that they don't report is that a few weeks ago there was a gun found in the bushes outside of one of Kamala's appearances. Now they don't have that on the news, right? And she's not fundraising off of that. But yeah, I totally feel it was staged. I really do. But see, I think the thing that happened in Ohio, I just got an email or a text. Is it for a job? I signed up to like job list and I get all these like various jobs that I'm really not qualified for or whatever. Okay. Here's the thing. What was I saying? It threw me off. So it reminded me what I was saying before I got this text. So staged. By the time they kept the shooter alive, so maybe they got conscious. The other one, they killed him instantly. I was like, oh, that's convenient. This one, it seems like they slapped a Biden-Harris bumper sticker on this guy's car, but he clearly is not a Democrat. Now, they also said that he fought in Ukraine. Now, that's weird too. It's like, demonize Ukraine and people who fight for Ukraine and demonize Democrats and get all this demonization. But here's the other thing. My brain is totally thrown by the stupid text I got. I'm like really off now. I'm sorry. It really threw me off. Okay, keep going. You guys talk amongst yourself while I gather my thoughts here. Hold on. Here's what I really wanted to say today. One of my main points I wanted to talk about was I heard a chant on YouTube, and it was like yeah, get centered. You're right. It's funny how fast I can get distracted. It really is. Thank you, Amy. Okay, so I heard a mantra this morning, and let me see if I can find it in my history on YouTube. It was like one of those Shiva or Shiva, because I say Mane Padme Hum. I say that every day. This was a different one. History. Let me find it. And a lot of these chants that you listen to, the Tibetan chants and things like that, they're really, really, really good to ground and center you. And okay, here it is. Om Namah Shivaya mantra. And I thought, what is it about chants that help center and ground us and bring us into spirit? And what I got was that it's an energetic thing, just like you get in alignment with the energy of the universe. And the ones that are anti, and the universe would be light, right? And the divine. So the anti would be like the word hate. And I thought about that, and I was like, oh, well, this would be a beautiful, if you're in the divine, you're feeling the divine with you, and you're getting grounded with the divine. And 45 used the word hate yesterday, which I refuse to use that word. I refuse to hate him or anyone else. And it's like almost like a curse. So when you say that word, it literally is a curse word. And he said that about Taylor Swift yesterday because he was so mad that she helped influence voters, especially younger voters. And I thought about how he said that, and instantly after he said it in that text or whatever, tweet or whatever, this thing happened. And it's like we choose, right? We choose the energy, and you could choose this beautiful energy of that to be in alignment with the universe, or we can choose the anti-universe, which would be the word hate or whatever. Actually, cuss words like fuck and things like those are actually sort of like bursts of release of pent up frustration, or they can be funny, or they just be accentuating, they accentuate your speech. I don't feel those are actual curse words. Real curse words are hateful and derogatory, like hate speech, things like that. All the stuff that 45 says all the time. And he's constantly creating this fog of negative, dark energy around him. And the people who follow him are following and in the same energy. They're all saying it too. So he created that. I feel like no matter what happened, if it was staged or if it was natural, he created it. Like as soon as he said, I hate Taylor Swift, he created this energy of really bad karma around him. He attracted it. So yeah. And you're a big Swiftie. I have been since I was in your 40s. Yeah, but you know who I love right now? I respect Taylor Swift tons, and I really love what she's doing. But I really like Sabrina Carpenter. Like Sabrina, I was listening to Sabrina Carpenter all weekend. I was like, damn, I love that. I love her music. She's so good. I love her voice. It disturbed you. Yeah, it's very. And when 45 says things like, I hate this person, or I hate Kamala, or I hate who, he is inciting his base to violence. And toward them mostly, which is ironic that he would have this thing. I really feel it was staged for him to get sympathy. He sounds like him. She should ignore him. I understand. Hi, Fatima. Hi, and hi, Mary. And everyone. I think she should ignore him. He's not worth it. I agree. And she has been doing that for the most part. She'll write a song about it. Yes, she will. By the way, and you love Pink too? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I admire all these artists. I've kind of watched them as a songwriter myself. I've watched them and have respect. I respect all women out there, girls, ladies, women, all people. But as a female songwriter, I have a lot of respect. Feel like we should respect each other even more, because it's hard. It's hard to break through. And I used to go to local venues, and most of the people that would get booked would be guy bands, guys with guitars, screamer band, like emo, or like hillbilly rock, what you call it. What do they call it? It's like Memphis. I don't know. We have a lot in Kansas City. There's a lot of sort of country rock, rockabilly, I think they call it. And there'd be the rappers and all this stuff. And for a female artist to get booked was extremely hard. It was extremely hard. And I could tell you, it was not easy. So I totally support other female singers and songwriters because it's not easy. And having said that, my favorites are like I've always loved Lucinda Williams, and of course I love old school like Joni Mitchell. But anyone up and coming, I was like, I'll give them a listen. I will give them. I may not like it, but I try to give them a chance. And like who's the Roan? They just had them all. Sabrina Carpenter, Katy Perry was on. I like Katy Perry. Like her old stuff. Anyway, I pretty much like everybody, but Pink, yeah. She's cool. She has a great voice. Norah Jones, she's great. Yeah. Such a beautiful, warm voice. Norah Jones' latest album is a classic. Go try. If that doesn't win Album of the Year at Grammys, so Taylor's again. I'm gonna yeah, Taylor, I'll say this. I feel like Taylor, but she's so supportive. Like, I know it gets annoying with her. I get that. She's kind of, all the attention gets on her. And the thing that bugs me when Taylor, when she's going to win. She knows she's going to win. And she wins an award and she's like, I can't believe it. You're like, yes, you can. We all knew you were going to win again. But yeah, but she's supportive of other people. So and I was going to say, yesterday, Kansas City, the Chiefs played. She was there. She was here in Kansas City again. So that's cool. She also does not have to get that involved. She can let her army of Swifties handle. Yeah, that's true. And they believe me when I say they will. That's why somebody was saying, because on TikTok, after the debate that she was supporting Kamala and Tim Walz, all the Trump people were like, how about this, Taylor Swift? Why don't you just shut your mouth? Nobody cares who you're going to vote for. And somebody had their kid reply, and their kid said, yes, you do. Yes, you do care, or you wouldn't be making this video. And then the other thing was, we all knew who she stood for. I mean, she supported Biden, and she's pretty much already said she's a Democrat. So is anyone surprised that she's going to vote for Kamala? I mean, I don't think I wasn't. I was just waiting for her to say it. But they just don't like, it's like when a celebrity says they're gay, and they're like, why don't you just keep that to yourself? It's like, why don't you just shut up? Because maybe they're helping the gay crowd and the community by being proud. That's what gay pride is about, being pride so that other people can exist out there. So anyway, it was good for Taylor. The reason why it was good, this is download right now. The reason why it was good for Taylor to come out and say she was supporting Kamala and Tim Walz was because it puts the light of positivity on it. And anytime any of us ever speak out and speak our truth, our absolute truth, it puts a spotlight from the universe on it as strength and integrity, and just to speak your truth. That's like the most beautiful thing you can do, is to speak your truth. So there was like a big thing for her to be able to do that, and it helps her fans be able to say, we can speak our truth as well. So her parents aren't happy. Yeah, I saw that. She's a Democrat. Yeah, I saw that video where she had to talk to her dad and say, I don't care, I'm voting for, at the time, wasn't it? She was voting for Hillary, I think. I could be wrong about that. Yes, they said that in Fox News. Yeah. You did security at Taylor concert and fell arse over right in front of her. Arse over tight in front of her. My blood pressure goes up whenever I see a photo of her. Yeah, well, you're good though. They probably gave her a little laugh, and that's good, right? At least she remembers you. Because see how many people she sees all the time, but she remembers you, I'm sure of it. I wish she was more visible in supporting Kamala, as that will lose the minds of the Republicans. Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I think Kitty wants out. Kitty, hold on. You guys, come on. I'll just open the door. Kitties and puppies got to run out there. Anyway, so yeah, so you guys all think pretty much you all think it's staged, and I agree. I think it was staged because they just wrap these things up too fast, and there's never any actual information. Um, I and here's the thing. So what Trump was trying to do with this whole Ohio, they eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. He was setting up his October surprise thing with chaos using Ohio because it has Haitians, and that's like the most racist thing he could do, right? Is to go after the Haitians in Ohio. So he had his militia down there. He has Proud Boys, there's bomb threats, all these things going on, shutting down the town. And they expected all these people to go there and protest. Whoa, Coco just flew up here. And so, um, and then JD Vance came on the TV yesterday morning and he said, "Oh yeah, we made that up because I made that story up so it would give attention to our campaign, to our party." And he just completely destroyed the plan. When JD Vance said that, he destroyed their plan because now we know it's all been made up, which we already knew that. Um, so right after that, and then Trump's hateful tweet, I think that's when they said, okay, we've got to have a new plan. We've got to have a new plan because they were planning on that to be total chaos and culture wars and civil war and all that stuff. So, but you know what? I think the universe is going to keep doing that, foiling his evil plans every time. And here's something, you know that there's threats to Kamala all the time, like every day. And Biden, I'm sure he said threats to him. And they're foiled. They're foiled, and quietly it goes away. But Trump, for some reason, has these things happen in the weirdest circumstances. Um, there's something weird about that. Anyway, it's just not adding up. Anyway, I didn't know her parents were Republicans. Yes, they. There's a video where she talks. She has to tell her dad, "Listen, This is what I feel. This is my conscience. I cannot vote for Trump. I'm sorry, Dad, but I can't do that." So yeah, okay. I think I didn't know as I'm not really into her love of her. I think was the one album I liked during COVID, and I still think it's her best. I'm not. I have to admit, I'm not into Taylor's voice, but I respect other people who like her, and I respect her, but I just don't like her voice. I have to say, This American Life. I'm neither Trump. Always on. Yeah. Um, that's on the too. So yesterday, after they asked, there was a lot happened in the news yesterday. So they asked him somewhere, "Are you going to call off all this crazy stuff that's going on in Ohio, the bomb threats, all that?" And he was like, "Well, maybe they should do something with the immigrants, or it's like all the immigrants' fault." Not calling it off, just like he wouldn't call off Jan 6. Why? Because he planned it. He didn't call off January 6th because he planned it. He wouldn't call off the stuff in Ohio because he planned it. It'd still be going on if JD Vance hadn't admitted it was all made up. Um, so, and I remember I got really upset about that. It's like, there he goes again. This horrible bastard won't call off the violence. Um, and and I was in my car driving to work, and I was like, when will this end? Will when will we be done? I don't want anything bad to happen to 45, but when can we be done? Because it really is like the worst toxic relationship ever, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. So yeah, and then well, yeah, whatever. It'll end after the election, and this is what I wish. After the election, when he loses, just stop talking about him. I don't care about all his trials. I don't care if he goes to jail. Let's just not talk about him anymore. Okay, so Amy, I saw a final edit of Superman. I saw that it's coming out. Christopher Reeve story earlier was on tears when it finished. I think it may become the first movie to win both the best documentary and yes, it looks really good. It really does. I only watch the news to see what they're not saying. Yeah, that's true. And you know how it is? Like you'll get in the thing where you can watch the news again, and usually like your local news. Oh, nice story about the weather and the sports and the kids in town, and then boom, we have another event with 45, and it takes over the news, and I can't watch the news anymore when it happens. I really can't. So. You love Taylor's song "Calm Down." She's advocating for LGBTQ rights. I have a bisexual niece and a lesbian aunt, so I support. I do too. I am an ally. Well, I feel like I'm a bit bi, and I'm okay saying that. But I support all because I feel like we all are really. I feel like we suppress a lot, and most people are really sort of bi curious. uh, but yeah, it's also things are changing in society. So there's going to be a lot of kids who are fluid on the spectrum of gay, straight, and we just need to, instead of fighting it, we need to just accept it and respect the evolution. It's an evolution that's happening in society. So I get an answer for her when it'll be done. So did I get an answer for her when it will be done? What will be done? Let me know. Mary, let me know what will be done. I'm not sure. These are going fast today. We were never supposed to have a two party. Well, at one point we had the wig party, so we had three parties. Is that you need to calm down from lover? Maybe so. I don't know. The way you guys thinking it was okay to let kids learn gender. Well, here's the thing about that. I feel like you should let a kid know. Think you should let a kid be able to vocalize, theorize, hypothesize, go to a doctor, talk to a doctor, parents, doctor, kid, all talk about it. And I don't think that we should rush in and change anyone's gender. Um, it should be talked about. There should be therapy. There should be a lot that happens, but I don't think we should say no, completely close all doors, because if a kid is suicidal, and that's where you have to have the therapy. I think that you have to take into all the factors, all of them. I don't think we should do what instead of having gender surgery, um, which I think that would be the extreme when a kid is showing that they're suicidal if they can't have it. But usually they make kids wait till they're 18 anyway, is what I've heard. But I think that we need to take in consideration that it's okay that if you're female and you're born female but with a penis, that that's acceptable too. And we need to stop judging people for having body parts. Like literal body parts. And we need to stop saying this is a woman and this, yes, genetically female for reproductive, male reproductive. But what is the actual terminology of a female and a male? Is it the body part or is it the mental too? And I think we have to take all of it into consideration. And we're not doing that. We're saying this is a man and this is a woman. But there's a lot more. There's a lot of in-betweens that go with that. So it's not called demoralizing. Kids are on their way by peers and not schools. If you think that kids are suicidal, just wait until they start taking hormone pills for theta. Well, all I can say is we are in a time of history where this is going to keep happening. And part of it is because men were allowed and are being allowed to be really to take away the rights of women and to see what's happening is kids growing up these days are seeing the toxic male, the male dysfunctional man. And they're saying, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I'd almost rather be a female because the women that I'm seeing are nurturing and they're more evolved spiritually, mentally. And they're saying, I don't want to be a toxic male in this society. I'd rather be like a female. So we need to balance out our male female in our society so that we can balance out the yin yang of actual physical male female too. Um, yeah. So remember Andy Whitfield from Spartacus TV series and his documentary Be Here Now Before He Died. It's the same reason I'm not sure I would watch it now because it's sad. And I don't think I've seen it, so I can't comment on that. You live in Washington. How to keep human evolution going. Well, we're overpopulated. I don't know. When men were boys, I'm never allowed to say anything that happened to that because then they weren't man enough. Now women created people powerful, and because they're men. Here, let me close this because I'm getting this beeping over here. Oh no, there goes my phone. You okay, buddy? Hi, good buddy. You want your blankie? Come here. I got my puppy dog. Well, this is a limit. Our body is a limit. And do I know everything? No, I don't know everything, but I do know this. We have free will, and we're being given a lot of examples here on earth of what's free will. And every time we go into, like I've talked about, what's the universe? The universe is light and shadow, but it's also the real universe is the only reality is love. And when you go to fear and hatred, you're anti-universe. So I know a lot of people try to quote the Bible, and they try to quote what they're fearful of. And I tell you what, every time you say no, and that's a negative word, right? It's good to have boundaries. It's good. No can be positive, but when you say no to someone's free will, you're actually inviting them to go around. So when we say to people, you can't do that, you can't do that thing that feels like that you're supposed to be doing, then that person does it even more, and they do it even more alternatively. So it's actually better for us to say, if you want to do that, I'm okay with it. Um, it doesn't affect me. How's it affecting me? Is it hurting me? Okay, you go ahead and do that. But when we say to no to someone, they're going to do it even more. And so that's how I feel about that. So let's say you see a 13-year-old boy and he says, I want to be a girl. Well, first of all, I do think you should be at least 17, 18 before you could have surgery. And I feel that for a nose job and for breast implants, nobody who's under the age of 17 or 18 should be able to have plastic surgery unless it's life saving. You know what I mean? What am I talking about? I didn't think I was going to talk about this today, but you, let's see, where does this go? Never mind. Free will. Free will. Gotta let people have free will. And I also feel like we should take all the religious texts and put them into one, and we should say, like AI. And I wrote this in my book, AI book. What's positive and helps humanity? What's bad and hurts humanity and starts wars? And the AI will take all the good stuff that's good for humanity and good for evolution, and this is what the Bible should be. And then it gets rid of all the stuff that is harmful in the religious text and Bible that probably was written by man and not actually from the divine. And I think AI is going to help us stop war. It's going to help us stop uh, religious indoctrination that keeps people in the dark and keeps people stunted their entire life. And yeah, so I'm actually really happy that AI is coming around for that, as long as it's not misused. So here I am, still here. Where's everybody? Everybody's gone. So the other October surprise is, I think, going to be where involves Clarence Thomas, and I think that the Supreme Court is going to do some radical maneuver that's going to be like a hammer on our heads, and we're all going to go, "Oh no, we're in peril," and we get that depressive, like the cortisone or whatever comes down. Is where they're going to say, oh, we've changed voting rules, or we're dropping all these people off the voter registry, or some sort of or immunity decision for 45. Like, oh, did we tell you that we can count all the votes before blah, blah. So it's going to be something like that. He's going to use the Supreme Court, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's going to be one October surprise. October, I hate to say it, is going to be a crapshoot. It really is. Did I lose everybody? Everybody's gone. Leave it to me. Leave it to me to lose everybody. So, yeah. I was thinking about I'll go on with the Bible again and religious. Hi, Fatima. Okay, good. Thank you. Still here. Good. Okay. Uh, no, the thing about the Bible, I was thinking yesterday about religion in the Bible. I already dropped off the home mail ballot list, but I already signed up to have it mailed to me again. Oh, good. Good. Um, yeah, and I would say, because I was told this, make sure you turned it in early so you could drop it off at the ballot box early or mail it in. I would drop it off at the ballot box and then check online to make sure that they received it and your vote and they have your vote registered. so that it says, who you voted for and is locked in. And that's what we all need to do. I would not wait till the day before or even the week of voting to mail or drop it off. I would do it a week or two before at least. And if you're going to go in and vote, that's fine. I may end up doing that because my voting location is really small. It's like a church, so I don't think I'm have a problem with that. And they're all paper ballots. They print off a paper, and make sure you check your ballot. Make sure everything is right. When they put it in, you check everything on the screen. It prints it off, and before you put it into the official taker, the ballot taker, you check everything and make sure it's correct. So there are paper ballots. So let's say that they say, oh, we had like Elon Musk does some crap. Oh, we lost all the votes. And it shows that 45 won based on polls and blah, 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 all this stuff. Well, they can take all the paper ballots and recount them. Okay. So they can take all of them and recount them. So yeah. Do you think that past life memories make you more empathetic to gender transformation acceptance? Maybe. I think so. I've been told that I've been mostly female in which is weird because being tall, I've always felt sort of androgynous, and I am sort of androgynous. But I've been told that I've been female in almost all of my past lives. But I do think there is something to that. I do think that a lot of people who are gay, either male, female, have been a female in their past life, or mostly been female or male or what have you. And I also think that a lot of people who are gay. They're naturally gay. They're born that way. But also I think that people have had sexual abuse. They've been shamed for their body, for their gender. And that's why we shouldn't shame women girls when they're growing up about their body. But a lot of fathers do and mothers do that to their girls. And so a lot of times when you see people who choose to be with their own gender, it's because they had a sexual shaming in their childhood, or a rape or such, incest or what have you, molestation, all this stuff. And it has made them not trust the other sex. So they literally choose to be with someone that they feel safe with. And why would that be wrong? Because they're consensual adults and it's not hurting anyone. I feel like if people want to be gay and they feel safer, that's what it should be. And yes, that's one thing I was going to say. I've talked about this before. Let's say your soulmate or your twin flame you're female and they're female. So you've never really been gay, but you find your soulmate and they're female. So now you technically have to be gay to be with them, but you love them. And that's love. That's what love is. So because in a past life, they were male or vice versa. So I do think past life has a lot to do with that. I absolutely do. Yes. The reason I'm strongly against confusing young children, we are ruining their childhood. Yeah. Well, I want to give you a story, and I'll be quick because I have getting comments. My son, when he was little, he would dress up in his sister's ballet dresses and swimming suits. And then one time, okay, here's the other thing. So let's say we got her a Barbie doll and he wanted to play with it. And I remember thinking, what if he turns out to be where he feels like he's a girl and he's born a boy, but let's say he turns out and he says, Mom, I was a girl all this time and you never let me have a Barbie. And I remember thinking when I was a little girl, how much I loved my Barbies. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell him that he can't wear the dress or the swimming suit or play with a Barbie or what have you. And one time he even was in the backyard and he said, Mom, I'm a girl. And I said, you're a boy. I was testing him. He said, no, I'm not. I'm a girl. And I said, you're a boy. And he said, no, I'm not. I'm a girl. And the neighbors could hear him. And I really thought hard about that. And I've always just let him be who he is. Now he's full on male. He plays Skyrim and all these things. He plays with swords. So my whole thing was, I let him have his childhood, but I also respected his free will. And I let him decide. Now, did I say, we're going to have surgery? No, because I knew that would be wrong because I had to let him come to a decision. Just like I feel like you should decide what religion you want to have when you grow up. So yeah, I don't think that we should do surgeries on children or tell that we shouldn't tell them. We should let them tell us and then respect it and also guide them. We are their guardians and their parents. So yes, we have to help them understand themselves. So yeah, I think it's just as wrong to tell a kid, "Oh wait, I think you're a girl, so we're gonna have surgery, or I'm gonna put you in dresses." We need to let them tell us and let them grow and change and become who they are, essentially who they are. Um, so either way, I think it's wrong to say no or to say, "I know who you are and I'm going to change you." That's equally wrong on both sides. So okay, yes, Roger, and we lived both sexes in many lifetimes. I've only had one reading when I was female as a performer or artist in the 1600s. Wow, that's cool. Can I ask, does people on here know the Bill of Rights, natural laws? No, I do not know. I do not. I don't. Maybe someone else does. This is, I don't think the children who identify as a different gender are confused. I think they are quite clear. And if supporting the cause saves the child from suicide, is a good thing. Yeah, I think that's why we have therapy. And not every trusted adult is a good adult, but we should have counselors at school. And see, this is where religion, I was going to talk about this. Religion, instead of letting us grow spiritually, a lot of times it shames us and scares us. And a real spiritual text from the divine, from God, from Jesus, or whatever your deity is, would encourage you to grow into the divine, which is the truth. So, whatever that truth is, the thing is, we have to learn how to accept it, not hide it, not suffocate it, not shame it, not fear it, not hate it. We have to learn how to grow into that which we are. We're almost like when we're born, there's like a bubble around us, right? Like we're in a balloon and we grow into who we really are. And instead of shrinking the balloon or popping it and saying, this is who you are, we have to allow people to grow into their real true self. And religion should do that too. It shouldn't suffocate you, you know? So we have a lot, I feel like in religion, we have a lot to do and to fix. It's just causing too much suffocation of human beings, and it's causing wars. It's causing rape, because there's a lot of rape in the Bible. Um, anyway, which, yeah, whatever. Some heavy topics on here. I could go on and on for hours about these things because I grew up in the 90s when I watched Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake and Oprah. You remember Fred Phelps? Remember all that? It was fun. Trump is the new Fred Phelps. He really is, especially when he goes to graveyards at Arlington. That's Fred Phelps right there. So anything else, you guys? I can't think of anything else personally. Let's check the news and see what 45 has done now, because we all know he's always sowing chaos everywhere we go. Let's see anything. Let's see. Oh, here's somebody. My daughter will never listen to Taylor Swift. Swift is banned from my household. Another person trying to control their child. Gays help control. That's something I was going to say. It's natural evolution to have gay relationships because there's always going to be male, female. There's always going to be that. But we're overpopulated. So it's actually natural selection to have a big gay community. And guess what? Gay communities are actually really cool communities. They really love each other. They get out, they go eat dinner, they go to the theater, they do their gardens together, they go to the co-op and to the farmer's market. I love gay couples. I love them. I think they're really, really, really healthy for society. To all people. That's why it's a rainbow, because it's everyone. Boys never get to be protected. Well, they should be. They should be. He gets worse by the minute. Yeah, he does. When you were raped, I mainly have guy friends, and when calling them for support, and most of them told me what happened to them as little boys. Yeah, it's sad. We still have a lot to do in society to fix that. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's yeah, that's sad. I have a I had a friend, her boyfriend said that he had come to America and he had a hitchhike and he got raped. He's like, "Welcome to America." It's just great. So it does happen to boys. It does, and that's something that again we should be able to talk. People should be able to be free to talk about these things. For that's where we learn. Um, okay, anything else? Let's see. What's going on now? Houston, Texas exploded a pipeline. Oh, that's probably another false flag event. Maybe because it's so hot down there. It could be, but I don't know. Maybe definitely check out Jean Grey Phoenix. Okay, I will. I will. I've heard the name before. What else? So yeah, there's a pipeline explosion in Texas. I mean, I hate to say it, but at this point, I feel like it's false flag. I'm telling you, the rest of September and October is going to be horrible for political thing. It's going to be great. Like we're all spiritually, individually, it's getting better for all of us. But just this political stuff is going to be chaos. You okay, buddy? It's all right. It's okay. Whoa, my tea. Oh crap, my tea. What else? Yeah, I don't really kick people off because we all get to talk and we're adults here, so we all get to talk about these things. And the only time I would kick someone off is if they were being abusive or totally disrupting the everyone else. So, and Amy, you were beautiful. I think you just, it could be my daughter. I think you heard my son. My son is still getting off over probably COVID, but he tested negative, but he's been sick ever since we went to the hospital. He's been sick. So, and I've fought it off a couple times. Um, so not fun. Anything else? Yeah, I would never kick anyone off. I would never do that. And Amy, you're beautiful. So, but yeah, people can talk about whatever they want as long as we're respectful. And I respect everyone's viewpoint because here's the thing, everybody's coming from a different angle. If you look, let's say everyone's in a circle and we all look at each other, everybody's going to see something from a different angle. Plus, we come from past life and our childhood and all these different things. So, I don't tell people how to think. I just tell them what I think is the best, what I've learned and how I feel. But I would never tell anyone that they're wrong. I just tell them what I feel is right. And I don't like to shut people up. In fact, I like to hear everybody's different opinions, you know? If we all came here with the same perspective and we all came here knowing everything, why would we be here? Because we're here to learn, you know? Okay, so Amy Wordprint, it makes you feel any better. I've been confused for a lesbian a few times too. Wow. We're getting some news here, news alert. Very red town on the border of Michigan and Indiana. I live in Michigan. What's his name? Michigan. Now, who is it? Tim Walz is from Minnesota, right? He's got that Minnesota accent. Let's see. Anything else? Very town. Well, let's all stay positive. Yeah, here's the thing. I grew up, and my dad was in a religious cult, and he would yell the Bible at us, and he would read the base. He would be in the basement reading his Bible, and come up and spank us every day. And he took us to his cult church, and he did all this crazy. Like he gave all his money to the church. So I have a perspective of these things where the first thing I did when I was 18 was I got out of the Catholic Church, which my mother raised me in. And it was really because I had like this huge ascension and awakening, and I saw through everything and I just couldn't anymore. So ever since then, I've just kind of fight for, not for people to not have religion, not have whatever it is they need to grow as human beings. I just see it as we're here to learn. And if religion helps you get through this horrible, sometimes, many times beautiful, but sometimes horrible experience on earth, then religion's okay. But I also like to warn people that if it starts to suffocate you and make you hate other people and hate yourself, then you need to question it because it's not doing its job. Religion is supposed to teach you, and you should always be open. And I also feel like it's knowledge, even in the universe on the other side, is changing. As we change, it changes. That's why we're here, actually, too, to bring information, our evolution, and we bring it back up to heaven and all that. Whatever, I'm rambling, so I will shut up. Anyway. I'm glad that everybody can come on here and talk. I really am. I'm happy about that. I feel like you guys are all having a party over there, and I'm like over here in the corner talking to myself about all this stuff. You're from Huyton? Is it Huyton? Huyton, Liverpool, where Stu Sutcliffe is buried and where John Lennon beat up Bob Wooler. By the way, would you ask John if he ever went to Cantrell Farm, Liverpool, when he was alive? Cantrell Farm. Yes, religion is a spiritual thing to do with your soul. Yes, it is. And yeah, it's the light. That's why we put lights on the Christmas tree, right? Because the light of the divine, the light of love, and we're all united. We're all united. The light of truth. That's right. Okay, so John Lennon, if he ever went to Cantrell Farm, Liverpool, when he was alive? Let me see. Psychic test here. Let's see. I'm seeing where there's swans. I'm seeing birds. I see, okay, certain trees and a bench. I'm seeing like the white, maybe duck, like white ducks with the yellow bill, or swans. And he's saying yes. Was there, maybe it was with Uncle George, because Uncle George did the dairy industry in Woolton, and maybe he took him there. There's something about the milk, and there's something about the ducks. Would they feed bread to the ducks and sit on the bench? Is there like a little pond? I'll have to look it up now, Jamie. And there's like a little church nearby, like a little tiny cottage church, like a stone church. Your mom told you it's peace and love. Yes, I saw on the way to work, my second time to work, and I'm like really frustrated, I probably was in like this headspace of doggone it, I don't want to go to work again. I'm tired. I want to be with my kids. I want to be home at Sunday, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to work toxic, right? I'm going to work with a toxic mindset. And this car drives by and it has this blue bumper sticker and it said, "Imagine peace." And I just was like, oh, and that's John, and I was like, that's right. Why would I go to work or live any moment of my life where I'm unhappy like that? And so I changed the direction of my thoughts and I brought in that peace. And it helped. And I was a lot calm. I was calm after that when I went to work. So my mom told me to go to every church that I ever wanted to if I got invited. Yeah, that's true. By a friend. I should go, and my mom is not religious at all. Think for yourself. I kind of had that because during the summer, my mom would sign us up for all the Bible schools during the summer. And it didn't matter if it was the Presbyterian or the Baptist. See, the Catholic Church never had it. We had Sunday school and we had catechism and all that stuff. But yeah, I went to different churches too. And it actually really taught me a lot. It really helped me. And I do agree with that, Fatima. That's a very good idea. Catholic, Mormon, several different Christian, Pentecostal. That's cool. It's good. It's good. They all, if you notice, they all say the same thing, but they all have different hangups. And then they all say, we're the only religion. Well, really, if you're talking about God and love and all that, it's all one religion. It's just their hangups are what mess it up. Okay, I felt like Princess Diana has been wanting to get a hold of me. Oh, beautiful. I haven't been able to do a lot of channeling lately because of everything that's been going on. Could you please try to get a hold of her?" So she, I think she just wants to bring you peace, and she's saying that she's going to stand around you with her arms around you and give you peace as you go through this difficult period. And she knows that you have a big heart, and she's putting like her hand over your heart, and there's a warmth there. And she's saying that she's with you, Amy. She's with you. She wants you to know that she is with you, and that anytime you feel scared, to call her in, and she'll stand around you, and she's going to put like a warmth around your heart and give you courage. And she also wants to say that it may seem like it's a completely different level of importance or whatever, but when she had to walk across the minefields, and she could have been blown up in that, but she did it to show the world that fear is what keeps us silenced and makes victims of us, and that you have to find your own strength inside yourself, even in the worst fearful moments, to move ahead and to know that each step, you're scared, you're afraid to move forward, but that she was carried by grace, and the same grace that carried her is going to carry you to your next situation in your life, which is to move and to have that tenacity to be able to move and feel safe. So, and you are safe, Amy. You are safe. She's going to be with you. Jehovah's Witness, I don't understand that one of the most other ones are a lot like cults. Well, like I said, all religion has a hang up, which is akin almost like being a cult. The good religions are when you go in and the preacher has an open mind and they teach growth, and community. Community is really why most people want to go to church. And so, and you can tell the ones that are toxic because they make you feel ashamed of yourself. And when they say, "We're all sinners," now that can be like, okay, good. So we're all okay. So I can start from the beginning. But when they say it in a way that is like, "You're a sinner and I'm the only one who can fix you, so now you must listen to me," that's when you know you're in like the big, Owen, give me all your money. If you want to come here, you got to give me your money. Is that not like the biggest scam ever? I'll save your soul. You got to give me your money. That's like a big scam. Okay, anyway. Wow, spot on, Amy. We just described Cantrell Farm to a T. There's been rumors that John visited Cantrell Farm, Stockbridge Village. Yeah, I think he did. Probably more than once. Like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 times. To religion folks, all I ask, believe in your faith, but don't forget to use your brain, your God. Yeah. And that's, look how we build buildings. We created AI now. So we're like, we should give ourselves credit. Yes. The All Black Church will always be the best church I've ever. Yeah, I agree. They've got soul. Yeah, they really do. I love that. Of course, I always think of the Blues Brothers in that scene in the church. It's one of my favorite scenes. Thank you, Diana. She says she loves you too. She's definitely with you. That's really beautiful, Amy. And don't doubt it. There's a reason why you felt her around you, and it's true. Yeah. She's that Grace, that beautiful Grace. You almost want to call her Princess Grace. Well, there's Princess Grace too, Grace Kelly. But yeah, that's beautiful, Amy. I love that. So Mary says, man is the most insane species. He worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature, unaware that this nature he's destroying is this God he's worshiping. I agree with that, because I find my peace in nature. Whenever I've been really scared or distressed, nature is when I heal and feel safe and I feel joyful and happy. I mean, I get that way with music and other things, but nature's really, to me, the most beautiful thing. Like in the worst moments of my life, the one thing that gave me peace and happiness and comfort and bliss was nature. Honestly, it's always been nature. So Jamie and Amy, we should do Doctor Who. Yeah, we need to. It's just been so hard lately because my life's been crazy, working so much. and with my son, everything going on. But yeah, we need to do that. And yes, Jamie, we need to do the Chaplin video. It'd be cool if you communicate with him live when we do it. Yeah. Charlie Chaplin. I love Charlie Chaplin. So let's plan it. Maybe, let's see. Maybe this Wednesday we could do, maybe we could talk about both. Maybe we could do the Chaplin video and talk about Doctor Who on like Wednesday or something. Because then I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm going to be, after that, I'm going to be quite busy. So maybe Wednesday. And next week, I'm going to see, because I forced myself to spend the money, and I got the tickets to see the Paul McCartney one ticket to see the Paul McCartney movie, The One Hand Clapping. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to do that. It may not be the greatest movie, but I'll get to find out. Yeah, Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. So let's plan it for Wednesday. That'll be good. We shall do that. Well, guys, how about in 5 minutes? It's 3 o'clock my time, and I got to feed puppy dog. So how about in just a few minutes, we start to wrap this up because I do have to go. Thanks for being here. Okay, so I do feel there's going to be another debate because 45, and somebody else said this, but I agree. I got this morning, there's going to be another, there's going to be another debate. 45 will feel like if he doesn't do it, he'll be a chicken. And we talked about the boxing thing. It's funny that he said that afterwards to try to help his cause. Boxers, when they lose, what do? They want another match. He was saying that about Kamala, but she clearly won. Okay, Wednesday would be awesome. Okay, let's do Wednesday. But he's the one. He's the one that is foolish enough to gamble with Kamala again and think he could win. He's not going to win. He's not going to win a debate. He'll try to trip her up, but there's no way. We clearly saw that she could outwit him in every way. It was amazing. That debate was amazing. I only got to see the first half. Actually, I watched the second half later the next day, but it was amazing. It was probably one of the best debates besides Kennedy and Nixon. It was one of the, because I watched it on YouTube. It was one of the best debates I've ever seen. All right, bye, Fatima. Thanks for being here. They got the why, but we women create men. That's right. That's right. We are the womb man. You have to fix supper for your mom around 7 p.m. Eastern time, but just letting you know. Okay. Well, Jamie's in England, so he, it's like 6 hours away. So probably the best thing would be if we did it around a midday, maybe like noon. So maybe for you, Amy, if you said you're in Michigan, maybe 11 in the morning. For me, it probably would be noon. We may be on the same. I'm in Central Time. So if you want to, because then I have to pick my son up from school at 2:30. So probably we could do it 11 or noon, 11 or 12 on Wednesday. Amy, Kamala has Muhammad Ali doing a lot fighting in her court. I believe it. And the way, you know how he was like he was almost like a poet, the way he would talk. You know, he would talk in poetry. Yeah, I totally get that. It's great. I love Kamala, and I said this, I channeled this, and I heard someone else say it, so I know that it's, I'm getting it, it's real, that Tim Walz will be the first vice president that doesn't just disappear and hide. Noon would be okay. All right, noon on Wednesday. Okay, let's do that. I'll set it up and send you a link. All right. But yeah, Tim Walz, he's going to, you know how like people say, you know, if it wasn't Kamala, I would vote for Tim Walz to be president. Yes, that's what's going to happen. We are voting for them both. We're voting for her to do all the hard work and to be our first female president and bring that female, like a queen, female energy, which is going to be very healing for us. You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. I was glad. That's why I come here, so I can do this and help people. I'm kind of a know-it-all. So you want to know anything? I can I'm kind of obnoxious how I'll be like, I know the answer. Well, I don't always know the answer, but I do try to help, you know. All right. Okay, so real quick, Tim Walz will be our first president, vice president, because he's really going to be more in the forefront than any vice president we've ever seen. And he's going to be out there in the communities. He's going to be doing all these events, and he's going to bring a lot of healing to us as well, and joy. He's going to bring joy to us. And so it really is, you can't lose on this ticket. Hair superhero, yeah. And speaking of, oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Jamie, for that. And you're welcome, Amy. I'm really glad that I could relate. I love Princess Diana too. So I know we talked about her last time. She's around you, and she's kind of putting like a cloak around you too, and with like a blue sash. So totally, yeah. I'm glad I could relay that message. So, all right, everybody, you take care. Have a great Monday. We'll see what happens in the news. I imagine by tomorrow, if I come on tomorrow, we'll have more answers to this whole golf course thing. Um, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The news keeps newsing. All right, love you guys. Take care. Love you too. I love you, Amy. I love you, Jamie. I love you, everybody. Love you, Fatima. I love you, Carl, and everybody. Thanks for your love here with me. I appreciate that very much. And shine on. Yes, Jamie, shine on. I'll talk to you later.